I'd like today to tell you about an online game called Quandary. It's at quandarygame.com. And it starts off with sort of this graphic novel setup, and it tells the player that they're the leader of a futuristic colony. They can choose between several storylines. Each storyline has several different possibilities, so it is something you can come back to more than once if you chose to. To start with, after you've seen what the problem is, you have to make some decisions about facts, suggestions, and opinions. And so the students have to analyze the difference between those three things. There's about a dozen characters that each have something to say, and the students click and drag those characters into one of the three categories. So this is a pretty clear, obvious opinion card. I think these predators are dangerous to more than sheep. This is a fact card where she's telling something that is known, and a solution card where she's offering an idea for what they can do. Once a student has sorted into those three categories, they can check and see how they did. I did very well. Most people were in the right place. And it's part of where they get their points from is that initial sort. The next step is they choose two of the possible solutions and start looking at the pros and cons of that, and also working on getting a consensus from their group of characters. So each character that you click on tells you what they think initially, just what they think the best solution is for the problem overall. And then the player can drag in one of their two solutions that they chose to get the character's feedback on that. So one possible solution was do nothing, and the character here says, but my sheep will get eaten if we don't do anything. We need to poison them, talking about the predators. Another option you can do is bring in facts that you think will help change their minds. And so one of the facts about these predators is that the saliva has medicinal properties. However, this did not change Guthrie's mind. He said, so what? So if you try to use a fact and it doesn't help any, you've lost some points. Once you've gone through all the characters, the player makes their decision about what they're going to do, and they send it to the Colonial Council, and they then ask you to go back and identify two people who are in favor of your solution. So this is looking at arguments and counter arguments, essentially. And then you also have to find, for the rebuttal or the counter arguments, you have to pick out two characters who disagree with the position that you've chosen. And then they have you sort all 12 of the characters into agree or disagree. Some of them were on the fence, and so you have to work out based on the arguments that you presented to them and how they responded to that, what you think they will be. And finally, the player gets to see the overall result, what happened because of the decision that they chose. And then they can go back through if they choose and play the game again, making different decisions or presenting different information to different characters. And again, this is all just for one of the several different storylines that they have as part of the Quandary game.